We have, I would say, limited defense capabilities against this weapon, depending on how it is delivered. There's got to be significant investment in missile defense. Having said that, we will never have 100% reliability in shooting a missile down once it's fired. There will always be that threat, and this is a very, very serious situation that we find ourselves in now.
All right, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Wahar Rakah Quadash, which in the ancient Hebrew tongue would be the correct names of the Heavenly Father, His beloved Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much due honors and respect to the sincere brethren out there that's also laboring in His work. And as always, I want to say shalom to the believers, the Akim as well as the Aqua, which will be you brothers along with the sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, I just wanted to go into another quick lesson, which this sitting right here is going to be obviously centered around the opening clip, which featured a retired admiral. I believe his branch was the Navy, and his perspective concerning America's military defense system, which is shoddy at best, you see. And this is a concern, not only with the military, but as well amongst, certain Americans out there who are privy to the potential threat of World War III. And this proves that we're not just a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who use the Bible as a platform to vent our frustration against the so-called white man. The fact that you have Americans out there who entertain this idea as well. And furthermore, you have the military who have actually designed a missile defense system, an anti-missile system, man. See? Why? Because they're anticipating and embracing themselves and preparing for the potential threat of World War III. So this is not just some figment of our imagination. In fact, this is biblical prophecy and a reality that's fast approaching. And guess what? The scriptures gives you a vivid illustration of that day. When the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, actually sanctioned for those ICBM missiles to be shot back and forth throughout the world, and mainly here on the soils of America. And guess what? In that day, America is going to be proven to be vulnerable, man. Okay? And the fact that they was proactive, but the Lord has stripped the ability away from them to be reactive, man. Okay? Meaning they're not going to be able to withstand and hold off that onslaught, okay? And that assault of those ICBM missiles. See? Which brings me to the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, and starting at the 1st verse. It says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain." Yeah, and you're witnessing this prophecy be fulfilled right before your eyes. You see? The men whom Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah has raised up here in the latter days to convey this gospel, which is pretty much a warning to his people to repent and return unto your power before he spring into action concerning his judgment that he's going to pour out, in the wrath that's going to be poured out here on America, Babylon the Great. Matter of fact, let me grab a quick precept to support that. This is the book of Ezekiel, the 7th chapter and the 14th verse. It says, "They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle." Yeah, so pretty much this gospel and the overtone of it is a warning, man. You got a lot of Israelite groups out there that push out the vibration of mirth and joy, as if coming back into your nationality is a celebration, which is nothing wrong with rejoicing in the fact that you're an Israelite, you see, of course. But we're in a time of the wrath and judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So pretty much this return is going to be a solemn return, you see. And that's what the scripture is saying right here, Ezekiel 7 and 14. "They have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle." Yeah, our people are not preparing for the judgment that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is about to pour out. See? It says, "For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof." See? So back in Joel, the 2nd chapter, in the 1st verse again, blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Yeah, every time you receive an alert on your phone, you get a notification, whether it's your desktop, laptop, that's a form of us blowing the trumpet. That's that alarm. See? Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. See? Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. Yeah, you should be trembling right now. See? It says, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Yeah, and we the only group here at Great Millstone that push out that idea, of war and the overthrow of the so-called white man, and the fact that it's going to be a violent overthrow in the form of World War III. See? Verse 2, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. Yeah, and what's going to be the catalyst for this darkness and gloominess? This day of clouds, see? And thick darkness and smoke. Well, those ICBM missiles, man, when they hit ground zero, they're going to create great clouds and great darkness. The sun is going to be blotted out. See? This is the great day of Yahweh Shemi Hawashah we're talking about here, man, which can't be rivaled with any other time in history. From this time to this point and to many generations, man. See? It says, as the morning spread upon the mountains. Yeah, and why does the scriptures give this analogy? As the morning spread upon the mountains. Because this is going to be an aerial assault. You see? A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the light, neither shall be any more after it. Yeah, and this great people is a metaphor for the missiles. Let's prove that. This is the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter. Starting at the 4th verse. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains. See? You see that word mountain again. Okay? Those mountains is symbolic to those governments that's going to be affected by World War III. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people. See that? So that's those missiles, man. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. See? They come from a far country, which again is a metaphor for the missiles, from the end of heaven, meaning this is going to be an aerial attack. See that? So a great people is not going to come flying, Again, that's symbolic to the missiles. See? It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation. See? What's the weapons of his indignation? Those ICBM missiles. To destroy the whole land, wetland. America, man. See? That's the objective, that's the reasoning behind World War III, the third war, to overthrow America, the so-called white man, and his throne. All right? So going back to Joel, the 2nd chapter. In the 2nd verse again, it says a great people and a strong. And again, that great people is symbolic to the missiles. You got to understand, the scriptures is not going to say ICBM missiles, man. Okay? This is a book compiled of grave sentences and dark sayings which require a man of the Lord to shed light upon. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me grab something to prove that real quick, before we move further, man. This is Proverbs, the 1st chapter, and starting at the 5th verse. It says, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. Yeah, and those wise counsels is being played out via the internet, and in particular the YouTube. You see? Verse 6, and this is the point, to understand a proverb, see, and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. See, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. And what we're reading right here in Joel, the 2nd chapter, is a dark saying concerning the destruction of America, man. You see? And if you have eyes to see, it's pretty much giving you a vivid illustration concerning World War III. See? So again, it says a great people and a strong, which this is a dark saying right here, a parable, you know, symbolic to the missiles. There have not been ever the like. Yeah, there has never been such thing as an ICBM missile, man. Now you had atomic bombs, okay, but they pale in comparison to an ICBM. See, it says there have not been ever the like. See, neither shall be any more after it. Meaning, after World War III, there's not going to be anybody creating missiles again. There's going to be no need for that type of weapon. And it tells you that in the book of Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Okay? It speaks concerning, you know, when the smoke clear and the dust settle and the kingdom is set up, there's going to be no need for missiles, man. Okay? This is Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. In the 4th verse, it says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, which those swords and spears is symbolic to the weaponry of Esau. Okay? They're going to be beaten into plowshares, into pruning hooks, which, by the way, is farming tools. Meaning what? You going into slavery, man. You're not going to have any need for missiles and guns, you know, or swords. The only thing you're going to need is pruning hooks and plowshares, farming tools, which is symbolic to you going into slavery. See? So again, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. See that? So that's why, again, when you read in Joel, the 2nd chapter, in the 2nd verse, it says, a great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like. Again, there have nothing been such thing as an ICBM missile, you know. It says, neither shall be any more after it, meaning after World War III, there's not going to be any missiles. See? Even to the years of many generations. See that? See? Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the land, Salakia, the land is as the garden of Eden before them. Yeah, before those missiles hit, this place is as the garden of Eden. You know, especially through the eyes of, let's say, someone who comes from a third world country. You know, this place is the land of milk and honey to them, man. You know, you see these skyscrapers, these buildings, you know, Las Vegas, the lights, the glamour, the glitz. See? But that's why the scripture say again, the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, before what? Before the missiles hit. Before the missiles hit, this land is going to look like a paradise. See? The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Meaning what? After the missiles hit, this place is going to be desolate, man. See? Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. Escape what? The missiles, man. See? Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses. See? And as horsemen, so shall they run. Yeah, and this is, again, a metaphor concerning the missiles. The appearance of them is as horsemen. Now, reason why the scriptures compare these missiles to horsemen, because that symbolizes power. You know, that's where you get the term horsepower, okay? Because horses symbolizes power. You see? So again, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run, okay? So these horsemen right here is a metaphor for the missiles. Let's prove that, all right? In the book of Revelation, the 9th chapter, and starting at the 15th verse, it says, and the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the third part of men is dealing with Esau in this current system. There's a day prepared, you know, a month, a day, a week, an hour, a second, that's reserved by Yahweh Shah for the overthrow of the third part of men, which is Esau. See? Verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen, see? And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Yeah, so this is going to be the number of those missiles that's going to be shot, you know, over here on the soils of America, man. Because not only are America's enemies going to shoot those missiles, but America's allies as well. See that? Verse 17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. Now you might have somebody to read this, and they'll take it literal, as if there's a day reserved where you're going to see horses, you know, with horsemen, you know, in the sky. And the horse is going to have the head of a damn lion, man. No, that head of a lion is symbolic to those nuclear warheads. You know, when you consider a missile, especially an ICBM missile, they have warheads, and some have multiple warheads. See? So that's what this is going into. It says, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. See that? So when you go back to Joel, the 2nd chapter, in the 4th verse again, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, see? And as horsemen, so shall they run, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, see? And this proves this is going to be an aerial attack. And again, this is not talking about a damn horse with a lion head leaping over a mountain, man. See? You got to remember, this is a book compiled with grave sentences and dark sayings, see? And parables, man. All right? It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. It didn't say a strong people, it say as a strong people. So the Lord is comparing these missiles to an army. See? Verse 6, before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. And that's going to be a heavy moment right there. You know, you're going to actually see the missiles coming. And there's a saying, there's no worse way to die than to know you're about to die. You see, it's a certain comfort, in being put to death unexpectedly. But when you are in a situation where you anticipate your death, man, that's heavy judgment. And that's what's going to happen to you people. You actually going to see the missiles approaching, man. Tell you, man, this is going to be a heavy moment right here, man. See, it says, before their face, the people shall be much pained. Yeah, you're going to be, holding your stomach. You're going to feel that tight knot in your stomach. You're going to be overwhelmed and overcome by fear. See, before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness. What does it mean when it say all faces shall gather blackness? Meaning you're going to be confused. You're not going to be able to rationalize out what the hell is going on here, man. Okay? Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. Yeah, this is dealing with the missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war. See? They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall mark everyone on his ways. Yeah, meaning they're not going to jostle or bump into each other. Out of all the missiles in the sky, they're not going to jostle with one another, see? And they shall not break their ranks, see? Neither shall one thrust another. Yeah, that's dealing with the missiles right here. They shall walk every one in his path. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Now, this is what we're going to examine right here. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. And this is concerning America's missile defense system, which I believe it was like a year ago. They had a mock attack, and pretty much America had a hard time shooting down the missiles. It was like a test run. And to add insult to injury, the missiles was at a reduced speed. Nothing like the speed of an ICBM missile, which it takes, in some cases, 20 minutes to get to America. Okay? So in that mock test they had a problem shooting down those missiles. Well, how about in live action, man? And not to mention it's going to be 200,000 missiles, man. See? So this place America is done. That's why I say neither shall one thrust one another. They shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. Meaning America's missile defense system is not going to withstand this assault. All right? Now when you jump to the 7th verse, it says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Let's look up this word wall right here. Okay? All right? It don't give you much. It says wall. But when you go down to the Strong's definition right here, it says feminine active participle of an unused root, apparently meaning to join a wall of protection. See? A wall of protection. Wall, okay? A wall of protection. So in the ancient world, you had walls which were set up to protect the city, okay? Which brings me to a little information real quick I'm going to pull up. This is from Ancient History Encyclopedia, and it's dealing with the wall, you know, in relation to the ancient world. See, it says the English word wall is derived from the Latin valus, meaning a stake or post, and designated the wood, stake, and earth palisade which formed the outer edge of a fortification. Yeah, when you fortify something, that means you protect it. Okay? It says the palisades were in use early on and are mentioned by Homer in the 8th century BCE and later by the Greek historian Polybus and the Chinese historian Sima Qian, among other walls, have traditionally been built for defense. See, among others, walls have been traditionally built for defense. See, privacy, and to protect the people of a certain region from the influence or perceived danger posed by outsiders. So that was the reasoning behind a city having a wall in the ancient world. But now when you fast forward to the modern world, okay, and in this case America, that wall would be their military defense system. See that? Their military defense system. See? Which brings me to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. And start at the 10th verse. It says, thus said the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Yeah, and that's dealing with these other nations concerning America. They're going to just come to the conclusion, let's destroy this bitch, man. See? And thou shalt say, I will go to the land of unwalled villages. See, I will go to the land of unwalled villages. And this is the scriptures also being facetious, man, because you got this guy Trump who campaign was to build a wall. But guess what? You're not going to accomplish that feat, man. Okay, this place is going to be overthrown before you attempt to build a wall. See, so we know this talking about America right here. See, it says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. Yeah, and that's you Americans. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, gunfire, you know, like these different countries. You might go to a certain country and you can see that it's war-torn. You know, it's riddled with bullets, certain buildings. You can see the aftermath of bombings. You don't see that in America. And they dwell safely. You know, you got women parading around late night, you know, leaving clubs in high heels, man, stumbling and bumbling to their car. That's because they're at rest over here, see? It says, I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, see? Meaning that missile defense system, and having neither bars nor gates. Yeah, so the opening clip can be filtered through scripture. Everything has an element of biblical prophecy to it, man. That's why we know that this is the most powerful book here on the planet Earth. See? So we fast approaching the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and this place America is going to be found to be vulnerable at best. See that? So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, Lord willing. It was edifying. Till the next time I say shalom.